Okay, so let's start looking at the process of how to set up a cloud server with DigitalOcean. And like I said, I really like DigitalOcean, really simple. We'll walk through the steps. But first, you need to create an account. So they're gonna ask you for your email and password. Just follow the prompts, then create account. They'll probably gonna ask you for your credit card information, and they have like very inexpensive plans, and then you can grow from there. But let's look at how we can then, after you finish registering, then come back to the lesson, and let's start setting up our first cloud server. So here's the control panel after you kind of register and you have your dashboard. I have like two existing servers, but you're probably gonna have this empty the first time you do this. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna create a droplet. Droplet is what they call their cloud servers. So when you click here, you're gonna see some options. So the first thing is you're gonna have a different options on distributions, and these are like the Linux servers or Linux distros, which you have Ubuntu, FreeBSD, and all these others. We're gonna use Ubuntu because that's what we used in Cloud9, and so it'd be good for you to get acquainted with it. Although once you do something in one distro, it'll be easy to pick up any others. They also have one-click apps, although I haven't used this because I usually like to customize my servers, but they have different pre-built servers with images. So they have like Docker, Drupal, Ghost. These are blogging applications and CMS, and they have a bunch of them, and they're also adding all the time. But like I said, we're gonna do our own distribution with Ubuntu here. The next thing is you're gonna choose a size, and that's what I was referring on the intro. How, depending on how much CPU you want and how much disk drive and how much data you're going to be transferring, you're going to select any of these options. So you can see here, they tell you how much per month and then how much per hour. And like I mentioned, you could have a server run just for 2 hours, and you're going to pay, I don't know, less than a cent, like 14 hundredths of a cent. Which is cool because you can get to play with a real server, install things, play with it, and then just destroy it, and they'll just charge you a cent or whatever the case might be. So for now, we're gonna just do the very basic 5 a month, 500 megs of RAM, 1 CPU, 20 gigs of disk, and 1 terabyte of transfer. So that's more than enough. You can also select regions. The idea with regions is that if you have let's say you're in your main headquarters, or the main site where people are going to be visiting your website is one of these cities or near of these cities, you select the one that's closest to them. So for example, if I was starting an English I don't know, blog about English meetups or English startups, I would probably choose London. So because most of my users are going to be close to London. So bear that in mind. Also, it's a good idea once you grow a little bit more to have servers in different regions, because if one goes down, then you have another region available. But for now, we're just gonna pick New York, and these numbers here are different zones within New York. So the same thing is, if you want to have some backup, you can have a server in 2 different regions, and this definitely this means the servers are hosted in different data centers. Then there's some options like private networking. So if you want to have the data transfer between servers be private, you don't want people reading them. You also want backups. You can select on any of these options. we're gonna just leave them empty. We're gonna go through the SSH key. This one I already added, but we're gonna go through that. So this is gonna be empty on your server. And finally, you can create many droplets, not only one droplet, but many droplets. So you can just like add here the number, and you see that they each have a host name. You can also edit that field if you want to, like, call this Flask blog NYC1, things like that. So then we go ahead and press create, and after a few seconds, sometimes like a minute, it'll create that new server. And once that happens, you're gonna get like you see here, an IP address that you can log to that server from anywhere in the world. And also, if you're gonna have like a domain name pointing to it, that's the IP that you're gonna use. So once that's complete, you're gonna get an email from DigitalOcean with the root password, and you're gonna log into that to that server using that password. And we're gonna go through that process in the following lesson.